Affiliate members, let's begin our day here at Resorts World in Las Vegas. Once again, I'm JB along with Scott Ruick and his Bees. Also joining us, senior forward from Australia, Kelsey Reese, and senior guard from Austin, Texas, AJ Marat. Welcome to you all, and congratulations on making it to a new season. The wait is over. Scott, why don't we start with you? And what a lap it's been around the basketball calendar. But before we look ahead, can we look back to the year that was and what it meant to you and the Bees as a program?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was what everybody dreams of, you know, from low expectations or lower at the beginning of the year from the outside world. This core belief inside and curiosity just developed, and the team just got better and better every week. The belief grew. The fans, I mean, support us incredibly well. We're playing in front of basically packed houses by the end, you know, and then a run so deep that ended at the hands in the Elite Eight of, you know, the eventual national champion who we took to the deep into the fourth quarter, you know, and so it was just one of those dream seasons that you just, you know, hope to be a part of at some point in your life.
Kelsey, what was it like to be at the center of the women's basketball universe as we all watched those just titanic matchups in March and April?
Yeah, it was great. It was what we all dream about, going to NCAA tournament and playing in front of those packed houses. And we're really lucky over at Oregon State. We've got great fans, great attendance every game, but getting that next level, being able to play at home in the NCAA tournament and going on and really competing against the top teams is, yeah, what we all want.
AJ, every team is different every year. This one in particular, how do you build off of what you learned and experienced and leverage that to your advantage as you come back for more in 24-25?
Yeah, so we have 5 returners coming back. Having that experience, you know, all of us being at one of the biggest stages is super huge, and just bringing that experience to the new people, it's been super fun to see how they all fit in and show them the ropes, and then just, you know, push them to be the best they can be so we can get back.
Scott, perceived strengths of this roster as you head into a new season?
Well, I think we have a little bit of everything. You know, we have explosive guards, we shoot the ball, and we have a size inside, you know, and most importantly, you know, you have to have that, of course, but just the cohesive nature of this group already forming. You know, we're a couple weeks into practice, and I love what I'm seeing. Just a team that's committed to being the best group possible, that just wants to be great individually and collectively, and they put each other first, you know, and they're committed to the things that matter. They love defense, you know, and they love being unselfish, you know, and clearly they love basketball. And so we have all the makings of a team that's going to reach its potential.
Would you mind giving us a thumbnail on each one of the student athletes you have with you this week in Las Vegas?
I mean, you get 2 veterans. They've seen it all. They're ultimate competitors. You know, they're providing for the group every day everything that they need, and so amazing leaders. You know, but you know, you're sitting next to AJ. She's got the most beautiful jump shot you've ever seen. You know, I mean, she's just. It's been fun just to be a part of her whole progression. She's our only 4-year player. You know, so she's been there from day one, and it's just been fun for me to watch her just mature through it and become that go-to defensive player and now go-to offensive player. And then Kelsey is just so versatile. She plays the 4 and the 5. Last year turned into a great 3-point shooter, which we all knew she could, and then now is just so tough to handle inside, and is becoming a playmaker for us on both ends of the floor. And so we're in good hands with them.
AJ, coach just mentioned it there, your career, and it's wound through COVID, through NCAA tournament runs, through conference realignment now. Why was it important for you to finish out in Corvallis, and what does it mean to be here for your senior year?
Corvallis has just become home, honestly. It's one of my favorite places. You know, Gill is one of my favorite places to be in. You know, playing for Scott has been amazing, and you know, I wouldn't rather be anywhere else.
Your family from Austin, I think I mentioned that, but they're also moving closer to you to enjoy some of that as well. They must like it just as much.
It's super fun. You know, they're able to come to almost all my games, and now even more that we're a little bit closer. So it's been super cool to have them a part of this. You know, they're part of the family, and it's really fun to have them so close.
Kelsey, probably not realistic for your family to join you in the Pacific Northwest.
Not as often, but I'm hoping my brother and dad are coming out around Christmas time to catch a couple of games, and hopefully mom for senior night, so it'll be good to have them.
Oh, terrific. So I understand it's a big hoops family, right? Everyone played ball?
Sure is.
Sister, is it Darcy?
Yep.
Dad, Paul, mom, Nicole. Yep. If you're drafting teams, who's going number 1? Who's the top pick in the Reese family draft?
Ooh.
In their prime.
I was going to say, you know what? I don't think I can pick, but they were both great players in their own respects. I think I took the best out of both of them, hopefully, and put it together. But yeah, it's awesome. I love hearing all of Dad's stories and Mom's stories from when they were playing in the professional leagues back in Australia. And yeah, so good to have them on my side and have all their knowledge.
Most fun you had this summer?
Oh, just being at home with the family, going on the mini adventures, finding waterfalls, or just spending time with them. Yeah.
AJ, for you, outdoorsy as well?
Oh yeah, very outdoorsy. Now that my parents are close to, lots of camping and trips with our dog and things like that. So outside as much as I can.
Coach is coming up on a milestone. I don't know how top of mind it is for you, right? 300 on the horizon. Whenever you hit these big numbers, do you think about all the student athletes and coaches and staff members and fans that contributed to your career at Corvallis?
When they happen, yes, it causes you to reflect. It's not even something you think about, before, but when everybody stops and pauses when they do, which is nice, it is a moment for that, for sure.
What about the state of women's hoops? I really enjoyed your perspective during last year's run, kind of having that Pacific Northwest view of things and the way that women's basketball was just reaching its highest elevation, I think, in my lifetime. Where do we stand now, and how do the Bees play into that, Scott?
The most eyes ever, are watching our game, and there's more excitement than ever. And for those of us who have been in Gill Coliseum all these years, and I can even say back in the day in Newburgh when I was at George Fox, the people that supported that program, we turned that town on its ear, a couple times during my time there. There's so much love for this game when people give it a chance, and when there's awareness. And we've been in rivalries that sell out both home and away. We've been in some huge moments where we've been supported in so well, yet it was never the lead on ESPN. It was always an afterthought for some reason. And I never quite understood that, because everybody that gave women's basketball a chance falls in love. And I've always said that. I've always said, come support us and come watch, but be careful if you do, you're going to get hooked. It just happens every time. And it doesn't have to be a women's basketball fan. It could be anybody. And so I've always loved winning over the football guy, and letting them know this is what a female athlete can do. And this is what women's basketball is. And now to see the world basically just fall in love with it has been so rewarding and so fun, and the future is so bright.
As you restock your roster this offseason, what are you seeing in recruiting when similar student athletes get eyes on what you've helped build in Corvallis and what you just established with that deep run in the NCAA tournament?
I think that's just been the fun of the recruiting process forever, is just sharing what we do and how we do it and why we do it, and then what happens when we do it. We have an opportunity to inspire so many people because of the way that we're supported, the way we're loved, and the trust that's been built with our community. They know when they come into Gill what they can expect, and it's just this beautiful relationship. So exposing a recruit to that and letting them know, why are you guys supported so well? What's going on in Corvallis? And then once they arrive and they feel it and they see it, it's for us. It's so rewarding, for them to understand it, and so that's basically just telling our story as best as we can.
AJ, how do you help coach and the staff convey what the Bees are all about? How you uphold the standard of OSU women's basketball to some of the newcomers this year?
It's not hard to do. I don't have to do much convincing. It's pretty evident, just sitting around hanging out with us, or, we'll have dinner at Coach's house. We're a family, and that shows. It's pretty evident. We don't have to work too hard to convince anyone of that. But yeah, it's family here, and it's really easy to see.
So it sounds like it's a bit self-selecting. If you're going to choose Corvallis, if you're going to choose Oregon State basketball, you're buying into what the Beavs have always been about. Is that an accurate assessment, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. I think, as AJ said, we're very authentic. We don't hide things from recruits, and everyone's happy, and I think that shows, and you can see that if you watch us play or if you watch us train even, how competitive we are, but how much once the lines are stepped off, how much we care about each other as well.
Scott, what about newcomers? Some familiar faces here, some pillars of your program, but who can come in and impact winning right away, either off the bench or in a starting role for your team this year?
A lot of people have opportunity. I don't even know if I can say one. We're still learning everyone. It's still coming together. We've got some transfers. We've got foreign, players or international players that have come in. It just seems like this puzzle kind of just fits together so well, and people are going to have their moments, but people love the athleticism. I love the defensive commitment. I love the offensive skill sets, and so for us, I love as coaches just putting everybody in the right places, so they can be in their wheelhouse all the time. I just think it could be anyone, and so I'm just excited about the group collectively, and I think it complements who we have returning. And so I feel very fortunate, to have this group have come together so quickly like it has.
Before we get to your first year in the WCC, what about your non-conference schedule and how you expect that to prepare your group for where they're trying to go?
It's the toughest one we've had, to this point. And there are challenges every night, whether it's being on the road, whether it's being in a tournament, playing, back-to-back days, or testing ourselves against Final Four competition, like we are. We're going to grow a ton. We need to. We're going to be tested and challenged, and we'll be ready for conference play because of it. So I'm really excited.
I see Minnesota, neutral in November, at Arizona State. That's a familiar one. At Illinois. UConn, neutral, right around Thanksgiving time. Any of those you're looking forward to that you have circled on your senior schedule?
I mean, all of them. I'm excited for every single one. It's going to be a fun preseason for sure.
Funny, isn't it, when you get used to all the stops, now you shake things up and you get a whole new wave of West Coast Conference women's basketball action. Malibu, LA, any of those intrigue you in terms of your lap in the WCC this year?
I'm just excited to, experience new venues. Have a couple of family friends in LA that might be able to come out to some games, so that would be cool. And yeah, just see different places. It's always nice to go somewhere new and play in front of a new crowd and make them enjoy our brand of basketball as well.
Sure. Whether it's Portland or Gonzaga, Scott, I mean, these are new league affiliates, but teams that you've gone up against on the recruiting trail and on the hardwood in years past. What's your perspective on the WCC going into 24-25 and the level of competition you're going to take on?
Well, always been watching, I know most people in it, over the years, you just run into people. Certainly we've played in non-conference against several of them, sometimes in postseason, against a couple of them, as you just mentioned. And so I have complete respect for everybody in this thing. That's what our program's built upon, is respecting our opponents, demanding, we know we're going to get their best. We're going to need to have ours, and that's the same every night this year. And so, Gonzaga set the bar for years, in this conference. We have so much respect for them. Mike, of course, I know so well, also a little George Fox background there. We have that in common. And so that's a fun part of the story, even though it doesn't matter to these, any of the current participants. It's fun for us, and so I just expect it to be a battle every single night, and of course, we're looking forward to it.
And Katie Faulkner is one of the new coaches in this league, right? Someone who you know from her days in Corvallis as well, taking on the Pepperdine job this year. What can you say about her and the program she's going to try and build?
Oh, really excited for Katie to get that chance. She's super talented. She spent 5 years, as an assistant with us. We had a ton of success together. Really enjoyed working with her, and I'm really happy for her to get the opportunity. And Katie's one of those people, no matter what she decides to do, she's going to be successful. And so it's going to be fun to watch, her career take off now as a head coach.
AJ Scott started this conversation by talking about your jump shot. I think we can probably wind down and finish there. How do you go to work during your summer to prepare for a new season and build on what you've established already?
It's just a lot of trusting the work I've already put in, but just continuing getting those reps, especially with the new team, just making sure my game's sharp, coming in as the leader and the vet. But yeah, sticking to what I know and what I do.
What's a daily routine look like?
So I get into the gym about an hour or so before practice, get in some work on my own before we get together as a team.
Yeah, gorgeous facility there, too. I'm sure you love putting in the hours. And how did you help Kelsey develop hers, too? Because it seems like she's expanded her range.
That's all on Kelsey. That's all her. She'll punk you in the post, and then right before you know it, she's out in the three, knocking it down your face.
Punk you in the post and pop a three. I like that. And at 6'5", no one can get to it, right? So she gets free releases.
It's untouchable. It's untouchable.
Enjoying your time here in Las Vegas? You always have, right? Familiar grounds. Glad to see you back. Looking forward to seeing your WCC competition. Best of luck in the non-conference. And thanks for getting our day started here. All right.
Thank you.
Scott Ruick and the Bees, Kelsey Reese, and AJ Murat. Appreciate your time.